Mayor Warren, and we're starting a series of interviews of department heads and key personnel within the city of Orange Township. And today we are starting with our fire chief, Derek Brown.
Good morning,
Welcome,
everyone.
sir.
Good morning, Mayor, and everyone. The City of Orange. Good morning.
Let's get right to it. You're in the fire service for
22 years.
For 22 years.
Yes.
Tell me how you started, and you ascended pretty quickly.
I started as a private on the line. I was hired in March of 2000, rose to captain in 2017, was promoted to deputy August of 2021, and rose to the position of chief this year in February.
Chief, tell us what the functions of the fire department are. We obviously know that you put out fires, but you're much broader than that.
Yes, we pride ourselves on our service of fire suppression, as well as public safety, education awareness, terrorist attacks if they happen to come to the City of Orange. The City of Orange Fire Department prides itself on protecting the property of its residents and visitors that pass through our education, through our fire prevention, as well as education and investigation of anything that may happen as far as arson on the fire ground.
Now, at any given point in time, I've seen you at schools, at senior buildings, at buildings with high populations. Tell me some of the purposes that we see on those scenes.
The purpose is to educate those in those establishments, those buildings, those residents on the proper uses of appliances within their apartments, as well as evacuating their apartments when there's an emergency. If they see us on scene, and how to protect themselves, how to use a fire extinguisher. So it's basic education 101 on fire protection.
Outstanding. And in private homes,
Yes.
You're also there installing free smoke detectors. Tell me how that comes about.
We have a program that's with the Red Cross. We get a certain amount of smoke detectors that have to be installed. Private residents, those that don't have them, there's strategic places to put them within the home to protect yourselves and make sure they're working. Anytime you're walking around, you hear something chirping, the battery saying, "Hey, listen, we need to replace that smoke detector," because now they come with a 10-year lithium battery within the smoke detectors.
We've had in Orange, this is the summer of 2022, we had a rash of fires in a
Yes.
very short period of time. They were throughout the city. Have you investigated those? And the common question always is there any connection with, I think it was
Yes.
about 5 or 6 fires.
Yeah, we had several fires. 2 of the fires are suspicious. So we're gonna leave them undetermined because they wasn't further investigated to find out exactly what was the nature of the fire, the cause of the fire. The other fires were actually just natural effects that may have happened within the building. Fortunately, no one was injured in any of these fires. We do have a loss of economic development because now we lost a business. We lost a stabbing of residential. People are now homeless or had to find other places to reside and residence. So the fires are unfortunate, but the blessed thing is that no one was injured. No firefighters were hurt at the same time. But there was a questionable about 2 other fires that we did have in town.
You didn't find any arson or any related arson with all
I
the
didn't
fires?
find anything, but I have suspicion that it was a couple of fires were arson related.
Okay. But are they connected to each other, or are there separate incidents of arson?
2 of the fires might be connected.
Okay.
They were exterior fires, and so they possibly could be connected,
Okay.
those fires.
After those fires, particularly the one on Park Avenue that displaced so many residents, after the fire was put out, the smoke was gone. Your staff was still on the scene helping with
Yes.
transition to housing. Tell me about that.
Yes, well, it was very important that we help. A few of our members here in the department have family members that lived in the building, especially on Park Avenue. So it's to our best as yourself, Mayor, with your staff came through, really trying to assist the residents with finding a location to be housed during this disastrous time. So it's very important for us to step in and help with our own community.
That's right.
After the fire, we just can't walk away and say, "Hey, put our hands up," and like you're on your own. People have just lost, and so we come back here and we do the business of fire, but at the same time, we're looking to make sure the best that we can within the scope of what we can do, that everyone is okay.
Well, thank you for the community service spirit of the fire department and the generous donation that your officers came forward
Yes.
with as well. Tell me, everything can't be perfect in a department. Tell me some of the kind of complaints that you get about your department or about your staff.
I really don't. This is not real wood, Mayor, but we really don't have any complaints about the department because we provide our service. We provide the best service that we can for The business of fire, we do the best we can, and we provide the best in-house. There's some things we need to do in-house to clean up our in-house stuff as far as infrastructure and those things. And we are working on those things through your leadership and determination to help build this department. We're moving forward with those things. But as far as our service that we provide, the members here provide the best and most professional service that they can. And I pride ourselves saying, hey, listen, we can run with the best of any department within the United States.
I agree. I agree. One of the comments that I get, and the administration's working with the fire department on, that Washington Street fire station
Yes.
is not up and running. It had some environmental issues that aren't
Correct.
safe for our firefighters. Just tell some of the kind of steps that you're taking with the administration to try to get something going there.
So right now we're working together to secure funds. We have to do a remediation down there. But our efforts are moving forward to reestablish a Washington Street firehouse. Hopefully moving forward to help us in protection because the city is really, there's a lot of development going on within the city. Through the rash of fires we've noticed that we do have some shortfalls that we need to at least try to stay caught up with the progression of the city and the development of bringing more residents in and more structures into the city. So it's very key that Washington Street, hopefully we be reestablished to get that open. We're in talks right now, Mayor, and hopefully that can happen within the next 2 to 3 years possibly. But it's very important that Washington Street is reopened due to what's
agree.
going on and all the development that's going on in that District 1, which that north side of town that we have over there.
I agree. We certainly committed to it and made some inroads in terms of
Yes.
cleaning up the environmental so that we can and start
Yes,
fresh.
and that was something that should have been addressed a long time ago. But moving forward, we're addressing those things now, and we're progressively doing things. We're a progressive department. I'm just happy to have this opportunity to be progressive and try to move forward to make it for a better department.
You mentioned development in the city, and you can see it all over, at least trying to get a tax base so that we can take some burden off of residential property owners. Tell me about your role in terms of inspections and making sure that these structures are built safely and they continue to comply with all of your regulations.
So through your department, within City Hall, your planning department and the construction official, they handle that part of making sure that they are up to code and the standards of what the city wants. On our end is fire prevention. We come in looking over the plans and make sure they have all the safety mechanism in place, the auxiliary appliances that they need. The structures that they're building today are not the same as when I came on the job. These structures burn a lot hotter, a lot faster, and a lot more dangerous. And they take up a lot more space. You have open properties now, so you have open void spaces, you have open rooms. So these new structures that are being developed now have a concern, and we need to effectively affect them with manpower, staffing, and equipment if anything comes. But from the fire prevention point of view, they make sure that all auxiliary appliances, that means the standpipe system and everything is in place and that they're in operation. And we make sure that we quarterly are always checking these establishments to make sure everything's in operation and that there's there and they're secured and everything meets the standards of the city of Orange.
You have the authority to go into a commercial or a residential unit and shut it down if there's a violation.
Yes, that is correct. And through our provide prevention with our fire official, he has the authority and the power to do so as well.
I just want to digress for a few because I always like to inform the audience of how we contact you. If I am in a residential unit or commercial unit and I want to contact the fire department because I see a violation, what do I do?
So if you see a violation, you want to call here. The number here is 973-346-2300. And you can go to any one section. You'll be prompted to go to the fire prevention extension and you press the extension and you can leave that information with our fire prevention official.
And we'll have that information up on the screen. Is there a website as well, or is there a way to contact you by email?
Yes, by email. It's the fire official is going to be his name is on the website. And you can contact him. That's John Petrosha at orangeandj.gov. So that's J Petrosha at orangeandj.gov. You should be contacted as our fire official, and he'll gladly assist you with any measures that you have, any needs and concerns that you have.
And if I need to visit the fire department, where do I come?
Come right here to 419 Central Avenue, Monday through Friday, between the hours of 8 and 4 o'clock. I will always be here, and our beautiful firemen and young ladies downstairs always greet you here to come into the firehouse and show you around.
And you're staffed 24 hours of emergency. You're 24
Yes.
hours, 7 days a week.
Always someone here for 24 hours every day.
Very good. Tell me, we've talked about complaints that could be brought. There's also ways that we can improve that you've given an agenda for improvement already in terms of training, equipment,
Yes.
and staffing. Just walk through each one of those.
We'll start with leadership. Leadership starts from the top. If your leader is not leading in a way that's productive and leading those in your charge and the growth, it starts with the top. So from the top down, the leadership starts with looking at the department, seeing what the needs are for the department, and communicating that with administration as well as with the members downstairs of where we're going and what our purpose is. So with that being said, yes, training is a key element in training those our members on the floor as well as our officers to do their jobs, to be respectful and have integrity upon providing the service. So with that being said, we have training. I've been having classes here at the department. We've been sending members out for classes and training. Members will be furthering their education for fire prevention so they can go out and do inspections, which keeps them safe, keep the residents safe as well as the firemen safe. As well as we have a health program for our firefighters because we work in environments that's dangerous and trying to facilitate having things here to make sure our firemen are safe here within the quarters.
That's key for their own mental health,
Yes.
their own physical health.
Yeah, so we have to think mental health is very key in this job, in this business, because at any moment you can be on the run and going and protecting a life. Our job is rescue and life itself and property and economic and environmental stability. So with that being said, training is very key very key in the growth of this department, as well as hiring those that want to be here to do the job and promoting those to do the job through leadership. So it's very important that we cover those roles and that we continue to grow that way and be a progressive department within the community.
You've acquired new apparatus in
Yes.
the last couple of years, but you're ambitious and you want to go after more funding and more apparatus. Tell me about that.
That's correct. Due to the fires that we just talked about in the past, I noticed that there's a couple pieces that we would need to help with the growth of the city. We're looking at, I mentioned a tower ladder and another pumper that will hopefully be a tower ladder positioned in headquarters. Engine 4, that is our Quint of 77-foot ladder, will go down to Washington Street with a pumper. Hopefully we can increase our manpower to a reasonable level of protection for the city.
What's our manpower level right now?
Our manpower level right now is at 73.
Okay, and ideally, where would you like to see it?
Ideally, it's what's best fit, maybe 92 if we can.
Tell me about the shared services that we're involved in, and that we ask others to participate in.
So that's called mutual aid. It's a mutual aid agreement with the surrounding towns. If we have a signal 11 and we go into automatic, that's a West Orange will come to us for a signal 11. They act as our fast team. Which
So
is
signal 11 is the kind of fire that automatically triggers
automatic
mutual
trail mutual aid. So mutual aid. So mutual aid, that would be West Orange would automatically come in on a signal 11, and it would act as our fast team. If we go to a second alarm, which brings up 2 engines and another pumper, or whatever the tour commander may deem necessary on the scene, that will respond in. So the mutual, as well as if another town needs our services, we respond to the surrounding towns, providing with our engine 4.
And you found that relationship to be pretty sound.
It's a very healthy relationship. We're growing that relationship now. We're providing more service now to other outside communities that more than we've done in the past. So Orange is we're moving. We're moving.
Tell me about, as I walk door to door and talk to residents, some of them have fire hydrants near their house or on their blocks.
Yes.
Tell me how we maintain, test, and evaluate fire hydrants.
Well, our local water department does the test now. They make sure our hydrants are good. Anytime that we're out on the scene, I have guys inspect the hydrants, say what are the needs and what are the concerns. If they're missing caps or anything like that, I contact our personnel on scene and DPW about what we may need. But hydrants are checked periodic when we go out on the scene. But the water department maintains our hydrant, flush them. They're on an annual inspection of the hydrants, and we have the best hydrant system, water system in the state. We hit 100 pounds per hydrant.
Wow.
Yes, so we have a very good hydrant system.
Very good.
Yes.
Once again, if there's a problem with my hydrant on my block, what do I call?
You can notify us here at the fire department. You can actually dial 973-346-2300. If it's on the weekend, you can actually call 911, advise REMS, advise them of your concern. They will call us and let us know. We will come out and check the hydrant out, and then we'll move forward notifying the proper authorities to come out and check the hydrant.
As we close out, just give me some perspective. We always want to know who our leaders are, how they lead, and what makes them tick. Who is Derek Brown?
So Derek Brown is the 7-year-old kid who grew up on 19th and William Street in East Orange, New Jersey. I saw my first fire from the show windows, and my friend Robbie, who lived across the street, lived in those row homes, and unfortunately they were burnt down. And it was East Orange Fire, and they did an amazing job. It was in the middle of winter, and the 7-year-old kid said he wanted to be a fireman. Fast forward, I was able to become a fireman by passing a test. And in my journey, I was this bodybuilder. I did competed for a long time. And I was given this platform to give back. I was given the opportunity to drive the big red engines and ride on the scene and put out fires and rescue people. In that, I gave back by providing Christmas And that 1 year, I had to drive the pickup truck as a rookie fireman to drop the toys that we had gathered over at Warrell. I think it was Warrell over there in South Orange. And I asked the gentleman, where do these toys go? He said, well, we take them to Toys for Tots. I didn't know what Toys for Tots was. And they the Marines, and he said, yeah. I said, the children in Orange get these toys? He said, well, if somebody goes up there and pick them up. I said, wow. So as I drove this pickup truck back here to headquarters, I said, they'll never get a toy from us again. I want the kids in Orange who need to get a toy. We collect these toys for them. So the next year, Chief DeMarzo, who was the chief at the time, I said, what do you want to do this year? I said, well, I would like to do Christmas if we can. He said, Christmas? I said, yeah, we got some toys and ride around. Next year, I know he came back and he said, Derek, I got this engine for you. Got an antique engine for $1 from West Caldwell.
Nice.
Bought toys, we decorated, and we rode around and we started giving out toys to families. Went to the schools, talked to the guidance counselors, got some names, and we delivered with a Santa Claus. Captain Gonzalez was our first Santa Claus. We delivered toys and handed out toys to each family. Knocked on it on Christmas Day. Knocked on their doors and said, Merry Christmas. We've been doing that ever since 2001. It progressed to 2005. The loss of my brother in October, I was here working that day. It really crushed me. I needed something to do. I wasn't feeling good about myself. I didn't want to be here no longer. I lost my brother. Excuse me.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Take a break for a second. I do want to emphasize that there are telephone numbers on the screen for you to contact. There are also places that our personnel can call when they're grieving, when they have issues they want to discuss. We have a chaplain program that serves public safety. Just want to make us all aware of that to make sure that our officers at any level are able to plug in should they need emotional support, should they need counseling of any sort. That's always here and available. Chief Brown, we always know about the police chaplains, but you were part of the group that talked about public safety chaplains.
Yes.
That cover all of public safety members. How important is that?
It's very important. The chaplain that we had in the past was Jervis from Main Street. He used to come by the firehouse every day. Met with every tour. Was always saying a prayer for us in the back room. Even spent the night here at the firehouse with us, and was always at every fire. Fast forward, I think I know our new chaplain is Reverend Wilson, St. Matthew's Church. So I'm looking forward to him coming here and meeting the men and women of the department and provides with that spiritual element that we need. And I think that's a positive thing. That's what we need here.
I'm glad you instituted that. As we close out, just tell me some of the training that you've had over your career. You've been involved in a number of trainings that exemplify what a good firefighter ought to be.
Yeah, I've always been accountable. I've always been present. I love this business. I love the fire service. I love serving the citizens of Orange and those that pass through this great city. I have a lot of passion for this business. I take it to heart. So my leadership is through growing those to continue this for you, Mayor. Right. So
you put out fires.
I put out fires. I've saved lives. I've brought life back to life. I've been here giving back from this community. Hey, listen, I have a great life.
That's right.
I got an opportunity to drive an engine, save some lives, work with some great men and women, meet people like yourself. Got to take some tests and involved. Little kid from Orange, East Orange. Look at me now.
Under your tutelage, you brought in the first crew of women firefighters and the first crew of women firefighters in leadership. How proud were you when you were executive officer?
Well, as a captain at that time, and seeing our Captain Allwood get promoted, to see firefighter Chantel come onto the job, and hopefully she'll be getting promoted one day. These are proud moments. They're the first in our department.
That's right.
I can't say nothing more, but Orange is breaking new ground, man. We're striving. We're progressive here, and I want the world to say, look, what are they doing in Orange?
Chief, in your other life and continuing even now, you've always been physically fit. You've competed sometimes as a bodybuilder. You and I have trained together. No? Yes. Maybe soon.
Maybe soon.
Tell me about the importance of physical fitness in this
It's-
line of work.
It's very important. I come from a family of fitness. My brother was some athlete, but we all get it from our father. My father actually almost made it to the '68 Olympics, except he went out drinking that night and didn't make it to the trials.
Wow.
But
6'8" Olympics is when our brothers stood up.
our brothers stood up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my dad, Donald Brown Sr. But my family's athletic. The Allen family, that's where we come from, the Browns. So it's in our family, it's in our blood. I played football, and the gentleman said, "Hey, listen, man, you're a little small. You think you need to work out." So I started exercising. Found a little gym down there at the East Orange Civic Center,
Nice.
down there on Greenwood Avenue. I joined under the tutelage of Joseph Giddens. I started working out, and I forgot about football. And I kept working out, and next thing you know, I found this thing called competition. I think the first bodybuilder I saw was Tony Pearson. He had these traps, man. I said, I want traps like that. So my 14th birthday, my mother said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to join the Civic Center so I can start lifting some weights." She said, "Okay," and I joined, and it went from there. And I joined a gym, saw Gateway Fitness in Bloomfield, and saw this guy competing. I said, "I want to try that too." And I started bodybuilding, caught the itch. So health, on that level, that's something that that's a little deep. That's a little extreme.
right.
That's a little extreme what I was doing. But taking care of yourself is very important because
right.
as we get older, and then my father would tell me, wait till you get old and your knees and your elbows start hurting.
right.
You better take care of yourself. It's very important that you take care of yourself.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from a bodybuilding expert, someone who has always been involved physically. Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
That's also part of our fire prevention lesson of today, and that we try to go to the schools and to the senior centers and to all of our residents
Yes.
to let you know that physical health is important. There is a game coming up where the fire department, I believe, and the administration are going to have some kind of competition. Does the mayor win just because he's mayor?
Yeah, we're just gonna let him win, but now we may have to let him take a loss though sometimes.
That's right. Competition. We full-fledged. We thank you for your service.
Thank
and
you.
your years of dedication.
Thank you, man.
I'm Mayor Warren, and we're here with Fire Chief Derek Brown, who has over 2 decades of service in the fire service, has mentored a number of individuals through the fire service, and has laid a track record of excellence in fire service, and is going to take us beyond wherever we could have imagined. Chief Brown, thank you for your service.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.